Okay. All right. Ready? Ooh, okay, we're
Okay.
doing this.
We're doing this. We're doing this.
Okay.
It's being done. We're making this happen.
Welcome to the Love Twitches podcast, where two single Twitch streamer ladies answer all of your dating and relationship questions and discuss topics in themed episodes, particularly in regards to Twitch. I'm
Wow.
Novalisi.
Oh.
This is Bread Witchery. Brett, also known as Harley. Harley, do you want to tell the audience here a little bit about yourself?
Oh my goodness. I thought we were going to start with like why we started the podcast. That was my thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, well, I didn't prepare for that.
It's all falling apart. It's all over. Give it up. Never mind.
Literally, we talked about this and talked about why we want to start it, and I did not write anything. I didn't write myself a script. We're off the script right now.
I think I have a script. I don't have a script. I don't even know what you mean.
I totally wrote myself a script with some of these.
I don't even have it. What are you talking about? We've got scene changes and everything in here.
That's fine. You're so much more professional than I am.
Anyway, well, I remember a little bit. So okay. The main reason we started the podcast was because we on occasion, just a healthy amount talk about boys, and we like to just really get in deep and introspective
and
about and girls, of course, yeah. And we get all deep and introspective and stuff about interpersonal relationships and that kind of thing. And we were doing some voice memos back and forth the other day. And I think Nova said, she was like, yeah, doing these voice memos makes me want to do a podcast or something with you. And I don't know whose idea it was to be like, let's do an agony aunt style thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then just suddenly we just started. We were like, that's it. Like by the end of the day, I think you had set up like a Google form and everything. And I was
I stayed up way late doing everything. I got so excited because I've talked about it before on my stream and everything. But I've always said that my dream job would be to be doing an agony aunt or a Dear Sally advice column. And this is basically the next best thing. So.
And my dream job is telling embarrassing stories about myself online. So.
And that's perfect.
That's
exactly
perfect.
What
These
we're going to do.
Up so well at the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Look at us.
Look at us. Hey, look at us. Who'd have thought?
Who would have thought?
Not me.
Not me.
Anyway, dead memes aside, we thought it would be, fun. Seeing as, lots of, especially on Nova's stream, mine as well, I would kind of hold off on it. But basically people talk about dating a lot in our streams. I always held off on it because I was worried it made people think that I was a romantic option if I was sharing dating anecdotes or dating advice. But I'm starting to embrace it a little bit more because people just love talking about crush stuff and dating stuff on Twitch, and just listening to the streamer discuss it and tell funny stories and that kind of thing. So we were like, hey, what if we have people anonymously write in and tell us the good, and then we can help you guys a little bit. And really, especially I think, especially in these times where personal contact is a bit limited, it's hard to get people to sometimes you'll have friends that don't really empathize with stuff that you're going through. You'll tell them about a crush, but they won't really be invested in it. They'll just be kind of listening along, and it's not your fault. It's just they're a rubbish friend or whatever. Some people are just
especially on Twitch though, because it's even my great friends who love talking to me about crushes and stuff, and they're always there for me. Mm-hmm. If I'm talking to my locals, if I'm talking to locals who aren't in the Twitch, if I'm talking to people who aren't in the Twitch scene, they don't understand what I mean. But I'm like, look, I was in this guy's stream and he responded to all of my chat messages. Does this mean he likes me?
Yeah. And they're isn't that what they're meant to do? And you're like, yeah, but it's different, okay? Because he has 200 viewers, and they're like, is that a lot? And you're like, well, yeah. But he's still humble.
He looked in the camera when he said my name. There's a whole aspect though of,
when he says hi to me, he smiles a bit different when he says hi to everybody else. Do you know what I mean?
There's a whole aspect of relationships and flirting and stuff that's not really talked about on the Twitch universe. It's also hard because a lot of us are coworkers, so it's kind of
colleagues,
a weird dynamic,
and it's not always cut and dry when it's oh, I have a crush on a streamer. It's not always cut and dry no, it's not going to happen kind of thing. So yeah, we thought. And then
there's the whole there's the whole people being is this streamer flirting with me, or are they just doing their job?
Sometimes we are, very rarely, but sometimes we are. Probably when the person isn't even going to notice it, so it's it's wasted. But sometimes we are. So we're here to let you know when they are, and when they're not.
Everyone listening to this right now is like, so you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, literally. I remember someone replied to our tweet, because the tweet we made about it was like, oh, are you unsure if the streamer's flirting or just being friendly? And someone very wisely replied, being like, hey, listen, guys, the girl is just always being friendly. And in the back of my head, I was like, ah, ha, 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 ha. No.
I see. Yeah. Sometimes we do be flirting, you know? Like, sometimes we be flirting. So.
But we're just going to be healthy about it, and we're going to set good boundaries about it. And that's what we're here to help with. So, Nova, why don't you tell... Oh, I was going to say, you don't have to tell me about yourself, but...
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You want to keep discussing important topics or whatever.
I know. We're just going to... you're just going to be in a podcast.
Oh, you're just going to discuss, have a conversation with me? All right. Didn't sign up for this at all.
Well, what I have written down in my description of myself...
I don't want to see your eyes drop once. I want you to be looking at me the whole time. Come here.
Okay, so it's kind of hard to describe yourself, but I think that I kind of captured it. I'm Nova Lisi. I'm a wine drinking, gossip loving, video game playing pansexual. I think that kind of like, you know, that's me in a
bubble.
Bumper
sticker.
Yeah. But I'm a full-time streamer. I mostly play adventure RPG games like Zelda or Skyrim, and then also simulation games like Animal Crossing and The Sims. I've dated several men and women in my my time on this earth, and I think I'm fairly good at understanding what motivates me and what motivates others. So I feel like I'm good at reading people. And then I feel like I'm also like the go-to person that everyone goes to for relationship advice.
Because you're so good at it. You get like really in it, like, you know, like
I get invested.
You get invested and excited, and like you check in. You're like, oh, did Benjamin message you back? Sorry, Benjamin. I don't know who Benjamin is. If anyone called Benjamin is listening, I promise I'm not texting my friend about
my
you.
crush, his name's Benjamin. Please turn off the podcast right now.
Benjamin TTTV on Twitter. If you're listening, I'm so sorry. Please refund my tier 3 sub.
I don't like talking about like my like current relationships and stuff though. I don't talk about on stream. I don't talk about that stuff because I feel like that's like necessary to be like private, you know?
Like on stream or with your friends, do you mean?
Like, well, with my friends, I talk about literally everything. Okay,
do you?
Like,
I have no experience with this. I've got no idea what you're talking about.
Just constantly like, what do I say back? What do I say back? I don't know who you are.
I met you on Fiverr. I've hired you for this.
It's funny though because I really am like I'm so confident seeming. I think that I seem pretty confident, especially when I'm giving advice to other people.
You do,
and I'm like, I know exactly what you should do in this situation.
Yeah, you're very hardline. You're like, nah, he's over. Cancel him. And I'm like, oh, yeah, really?
I very much am though. I am totally the like 100% the friend that's like, dump your trash boyfriend. Like, dump him. He's not worth it. He's not worth it.
Most of the time, dear listener, he isn't worth it.
Yeah. But I don't know about you, but I'm very much like the person that's like, I would rather be single and lonely than be in like an unhappy relationship or be in like a toxic relationship.
Yeah, I didn't used to be like that, but I'm definitely like that now. I'm like full like Taylor Swift in it, where I'm like, I'm working on myself. Like I remember someone came into my chat once and they said the classic, oh my god, you're so like, they were like a regular or whatever, like I don't think they meant this in like a negative way, but they were like, oh my god, how are you single? You're so funny and pretty. I can't believe no one would date you. And I was like, I'm single because I don't want to, there's no one I want to date right now. And they were like, oh it's yeah, like you're single because you want to be. And I was like, yeah, there's no like, there's no one that likes me back who I like right now, so I'm not dating anybody.
It's like the floor pizza thing. It's like the floor pizza thing. It's like...
Do I have to tell the floor pizza story now?
Yeah. Yeah, you absolutely do.
All right, so context. I was like 15 hours into a stream at this point. I was not myself. I'm not responsible for my actions. And you know, I just like crushed a small bird in my palm. No, I'm kidding. No, basically what happened was I think I brought up that kind of anecdote. No, what it was I was talking about being single or whatever, and how I was scared that like I would never find anyone who would like want to date me that I liked, and how I was like, it's been a bit of a while since I liked someone and they liked me back. And someone in chat said, well, there's at least like 80 people here who would date you, and I was like, that's super sweet, but like I know what you mean, but it's like I want to like the person first. And then I said, you know, it's like if I was hungry and you're like, well, there's a pizza like on the sidewalk there, like on the ground, I wouldn't eat the pizza. And like like every single lurker came out and was like, are you calling us floor pizza? And I was like, No, I just was comparing you to pizza that is on the floor. I'm not saying you're floor pizza, and now they won't let it go. And they keep calling themselves floor pizza, and I've instilled several self-esteem issues in a lot of people, and I feel bad now.
Oops. Well, it's only gonna get worse from here, honestly.
Accidentally give you crippling self-esteem issues. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, no, I think I do have the problem where I'm super duper picky about the people that I date.
I mean, you should be. You're
I'm
like a 10 out of 10, so we're gonna need a 10 out of 10 for you there.
I mean, no, I'm super picky, especially when I'm like in a good headspace. I think that like when I'm depressed, my standards lower a little bit.
Yeah, you know your worth when you're doing well, is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's also the reason why like my longest relationship is 10 months. I've never even gotten to a 1-year anniversary with someone that I've been in a relationship with before. So everyone who's coming to me with relationship questions, just like keep that in mind. Take everything with a grain of salt. I have no successful relationships under my belt. So
what like is a successful relationship? In my head, I guess it's one where you break up very amicably, or it's one where you are not broken up yet. So those rarely occur. Like, it's not your fault.
Yeah, isn't like a successful relationship where you're just like still together.
Yeah,
you know, and happy.
You know, to be fair. Yeah. That's when you win. A little achievement comes over your head, and you're like sanctity of relationship, and it's great. Little cherubs come down. It's great.
I could hope that's me one day.
One of that platinum trophy on Love Life. Damn.
I want that. I want what they have. So, as far as sexual orientation goes, though, I felt like I should like address this in the beginning. But I usually say I'm bisexual, but actually after talking to you, and kind of like coming to terms with that myself, I've learned that I'm better aligned with the definition of being pansexual, since I just purely don't have a preference with like the gender of whoever I date. I have no gender preference whatsoever. But I still say bisexual a lot, just because it's like easier for people to understand, and that way it's like if a stranger asks, or like someone like, you know, randomly asks me, I don't have to spend like 10 minutes
effectively to them. You would be it is good that you do mention pansexual sometimes, though, because it's always good for like visibility and that kind of thing.
For sure. If I feel like going into it, I'll like, you know, explain what it is and what it means, but otherwise I don't want to like go in depth on my sex life with like random people, you know.
That's you know what, I'm gonna give you that one. That's fair. Okay, that one you can have.
And then as far as Twitch goes, I've been streaming on Twitch for like 3 years now, but I've been full-time for the last like going on 3 months now. It's been a little over 2 months now that I've been full-time. And
absolutely killing it, by the way.
Thank you. So, and I've dated, I feel, I don't know if I should mention this, maybe we'll cut it out.
We can cut it out if needed.
All right. I have dated one Twitch streamer.
Oh, I'll say that I've done that as well. So I'll also bring that up. That's fine.
Okay.
It's okay.
I've dated one Twitch streamer, one person on Twitch. I flirted with people on Twitch, you know, as you do.
You don't do that. Never.
I have like actually been in a relationship with one person who was also a Twitch streamer.
That's cool.
But yeah, that's me.
That is quite succinctly her. How about me? Well, I got some little notesies here. All right, so so my Twitch wise, I guess I'm like a story based streamer. I play a lot of narrative or choice driven games. About to like pick up Persona 5 Royal and stuff like that, and I also do a lot of just chatting. And I've been, because of the quarantine and all that, I've been trying to like expand my creative horizons, doing like a TTP RPG thing, work on this podcast with Nova. I like doing like live readings of films and that kind of thing. May 2nd, 2 p.m. Pacific time, if you want to see a live reading of Shrek for charity. I'm just saying, you know, just putting that on the table.
I might also be in that.
Yeah, she's also in it. I literally don't know how to make content without Nova in it. I'm sure I have a sense of self.
It's almost we like each other and like inspire each other and just feel creative when we're around each other.
That's what it is. No codependency here. Haha. In regards to sexual orientation, I'm listen here. I'm one of those. I have a degree in cultural studies, so we're already starting strong, where I'm basically just the wibbly wobbliest of humans. In regards to gender, I guess I'm non-binary, which I always feel weird saying, because I think a lot of cis people think that non-binary is like a third gender, where it's like you're cis or you're trans or you're non-binary, and I'm like, that's not quite how it works. But basically 70% of the time I'm a girl, and I like she and her fit me, and I'm like, I am a girl. But then like 30% of the time, for whatever reason, I'm very like, I have no gender. I'm like Janet from The Good Place. I'm like, I'm not a girl, and I get like euphoria from being called like they, them, and that kind of thing. But so yeah, I understand I'm very privileged, and that I align with a lot of people's perception of what a non-binary person is. Like, I'm thin, I'm white, I'm for the most part, I like present feminine and that kind of thing, which is like kind of the stereotype for non-binary people. So but yeah, so like she, her, or they, them pronouns are fine for me either way. And in regards to orientation, I am like a Kinsey 1, Kinsey 2. I've started to move away from identifying as bi, because I don't like, I'm very like aesthetically attracted to women, and like I like kissing women and that kind of thing. But when it comes to like dating, I'm like, I think I would be most fulfilled in a relationship with a man in like the long run. So sorry to break it to Nova. I know.
I'm heartbroken.
I know.
I'm heartbroken.
I'm so sorry. I know.
Please love me.
But then I'm always wondering, I'm like, can I be
just
straight?
Give me one chance.
Just
give me one chance.
Let me change. I'm gonna rock your world. But yeah, I'm always
I've got
like
many compliments. I'm just gonna say.
I'm always like, I'm like, can I be straight if I'm non-binary? But I just say I'm straight because I'm more comfy with it. But then I also Arrowflux. I'm just pulling out all the Tumblr terms out of my pocket. Just here's another one, non-binary, Arrowflux, there you go, bada bing, bada boom. Which means I go between being like aromantic and alloromantic, which is like normal romantic. Just being able to experience romantic attraction is alloromantic, and not being able to experience it is aromantic. And I go between the two. I don't know if it's trauma related. I don't know if it's just a genuine inner being thing. So I'm like Arrowflux. So, which I'm always scared to say, because I'm like, I don't want to say I'm aromantic, because then what if a cute boy sees my profile and he's like, oh no, I'll never have a shot. You do have a shot, cute boy, whoever you are. Call me Marty McFly if you're listening.
No, I think it's really nice that you're I just want to mention that it's like really nice that you are so open about these things, and because I think we need more people like you who are more open about this, so that we can like understand these terms more and get more educated on it. So I love you. Thank you.
I love you too. Yeah, I'm always nervous about being too open about it, and like for the worst reason, because you shouldn't base the way that you present yourself around the way other people will see you. But I am mostly into just like straight dudes, and I'm always like, what if they don't want to date me because they're like, oh no, she's too SJW? But you know what, the right guy, Marty McFly, will not think that, so it's fine.
Exactly. If he thinks that you're too SJW, then
he
can get out, man. Like, it's not gonna. I don't know how to tell you this, but it's not gonna work out.
Freaking my idpol girlfriend, she's too good. But in terms of dating experience, I've maybe I'll smack a CW on at the start of the podcast. I don't know. But mainly my relationships have been like either just like flat abusive or just like really rubbish. I've had like one okay relationship. That was my longest one. He was still a bit like ableist and stuff, but like overall I'm like, you know what? You were a good guy. But I have a lot of experience with all kinds of abuse, so I feel quite qualified to talk on that stuff because I've been there and I've gone through a lot of like healing and recovery with it and that kind of thing. And I think it's an important thing to normalize as well, that you're not like... Yeah, because I've had a lot of people that like open up to me about the ways that they were abused, that kind of thing. And it's really nice because you feel very other and you feel very like something's like wrong with you. And you're like, well, look at these normal people going through their normal lives. And I'm this like broken freak who's been like wounded. And it's like, no, like it's normal. It does happen. It hurts, but it happens. And so I
think especially with dating, because I've had experiences with that as well. And I think with dating, it can like... It's kind of scary to admit that you've been through so much trauma, that you've been through these kind of things, because you don't want to be seen as like having too much baggage or like being like too much like damaged goods, you know, or that you're going to be like too much work, you know, that dating you is going to be too much work. So I think it's good to talk about it and to be comfortable with yourself and your journey and who you are and what you've been through.
Yeah. And I think it also helps because I can spot lots of like different red flags, because there was different red flags every time. So I would be like, oh, that's one red flag. Got that. Moved on from that relationship. I'll go into this one. This guy seems nice. And then he like hits you with a new one. You're like, where did they even come from? So
big time.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah. So that's me. we are very good buddies, so we're just very excited to delve into your stuff and just be your best buddy and just be your sis. Come here, sis. Come here. Tell me, what did he do? What did he do? And we're gonna post Google Forms every couple of weeks if you want to submit your advice, and we get to it like 3 days later, and then we post the podcast like 2 days after that. So if you're like shipwrecked at sea and you don't know if you should get with the guy who's on the island with you, we probably won't get to that in a state of urgency. But if you're willing to wait 5 days, we got you.
That's a oh god, what was I just gonna say? You just reminded me of something.
No, it's okay. We can cut anything. Take your time. It's chill.
Okay.
We got. This isn't streaming.
What were we talking about? Oh, I was gonna say. Okay. I wanted to say that we're not like licensed professionals or anything like that. So definitely like take our advice and opinions with a grain of salt.
As if we were a friend advising you, kind of, but we're a friend who doesn't know every bit about you.
Yeah, that is our goal here, is that we want to be like your BFF that you call up and girl talk with for hours about all of these things. That is what we're trying to do. We're not trying to...
Yeah, we're not going to be like, this is a clear evidence that you're a predator.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Exactly. We're not trying to, be your therapist or anything, but we're trying to be your BFF.
So if anything goes wrong, you can't blame us. But if everything goes well, we do expect a care hamper.
I expect to be invited to your wedding.
Yes. So, I will also be invited. If there isn't vegan options, it's okay. I can subsist frighteningly well on just champagne. We'll be fine.
Or at least name your firstborn.
Yeah, that's fine as well.
You know,
Harley or Nova. You got two very normal names here for options.
Or Hova.
Or Gnarly. Dude, fucking gnarly, bro. This kid is gnarly, bro.
Gnarly, brother.
Radical. But yeah, and also just as a heads up, I don't know if you're gonna disagree with me in a second. You never do. No, but it's not really a podcast for like interpersonal platonic questions, really. This is mainly like dating and relationship focused. I don't know if you disagree with that. That's the vibe that I was going
like
for.
As far as like sex questions, wait,
it's more like don't be like, oh, my friend is like being kind of mean to me, I think she's being a bad friend kind of thing. It's more for like romantic and sexual questions, if that makes sense.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yes. I think that probably not so much like a friendship kind of thing, definitely more of like a romance dating.
Yeah, if you have a crush on your friend, that's different, but if it's just a platonic situation,
which is a very common gay thing.
Yeah, we got.
If you have a crush on your girlfriend,
stop, please. We're recording.
Listen, I might have submitted a submission to our own anonymous board.
My best friend's so pretty. She wears red lipstick and has curly blonde hair. I don't know how to tell her.
We are starting a podcast together. It was literally just a ploy so I could hang out with her more. That is what we're doing.
My autofocus. So if we have any questions of like interpersonal, we will just skip over them and that kind of thing. I wouldn't be able to get to it. And then when it comes to sexual questions, we will have sections where we'll be like, here's the PG-13 not PG-16 section of the podcast, and then after that we'll have post-watershed section where we talk about naughty things like fondling. I don't know it's been so long. Fondling? I don't know what happens.
It's been so long. Where you just the holding hands section.
Yeah, the holding hands section, the cuddling.
Oh man.
That gets me going.
My hands are getting sweaty just thinking about it. Got a little tingle down my spine. Holding a hand.
When they display interest in your interests. That's some good stuff.
Don't get me started, Harley.
So are we done for the intro bit, do you reckon?
I think so. I think that's a pretty good, follow us on social media. Our Twitch handles are Novalisi and Bread.
We're gonna put them here.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, definitely somewhere in this general region.
Vicinity.
We also are on Twitter and Instagram. We're both like very, very active in those places. Novalisi, Bread Witchery. Let's go, baby.
To hear from you.
First episode of the Love Twitches.
Bada bing, let's go.
We did so good.
Dear listener, like the professionals that we are, me and Nova didn't film an outro for this episode. As mentioned, we do have our independent handles on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch, and we also have a YouTube channel called The Love Twitches Podcast. If you search that, we should come up right away. And that's where we post the video versions of each episode. So if you want to see our sweet little faces or Nova's cat, that's the place to go. Again, thank you for listening, and I hope that we see you on the next episode where we answer some questions to people in our community and give them the best advice that we can. Have a magical day.